Oh, you put your shirt on.
Fuck yeah, I put my shirt on.
In 3, 2, 1. We are live with the ring of the bell. What's up there, folks? We're almost on time, Karen. I'm not sure what time it is.
11:55.
I mean, I'm not sure what time we're going to be consistent with this, but we're still working through the kinks, guys. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and
Happy
I'm
Tuesday.
Anthony Monetti. This is Karen Monetti, my co-host, and also supporting cast. We are talking today about, what did I name it? I forgot what I named it.
Your best friend.
Your best friend. Who's your best friend? Well, it should be you. And I had a conversation last night with somebody. It was a little bit emotional. And this person was beating themselves up for not doing something as good as they thought they should have done it. So I didn't know what I was going to name the topic. We had a little B-roll, right, Karen? We almost had B-roll. We were filming it, but that's okay, because I was talking about prelude and the lead up to the topic today. I think our egos have a lot to do with us feeling like we should be perfect and feeling like we should be constantly doing better. And don't get me wrong, if you're a growth-seeking individual and you want to keep growing and you want to get better with age and you want to get better and constantly keep learning, which I believe that we all should be doing. I want to do that, and I want to encourage people to constantly keep learning and growing and becoming a better version of themselves. Endless project. My life is an endless project, right? So this person was really beating themselves up, and I can relate because I think at certain points in my life when I felt successful in one area, I expected results in other areas of my life, and I feel like it has to do with the ego telling you that you should be doing this. So if you're good at one thing, that doesn't mean necessarily that you're good at everything. Does that make sense?
And nor could you be good at everything.
And nor should you want to try to be good at everything. Learn what you want to be. Learn your strengths. I'm a big believer in going all in and double down on your strengths. And also being aware of the things you're not good at. And if you're not good at them, if you don't have to do them, then why keep on doing them?
Or delegate. Delegate them if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. But Karen, you have any stories that you can kind of relate to that? You don't have to go deep into anything, but
There's so many stories of perfection.
let's pick one and make the people feel like we are human.
Yeah, first thing though I wanted to say too, in the world of shoulds, right? In the world of shoulds.
Don't should yourself.
Yeah, don't should yourself.
That should have been the topic.
So, should. We should be perfect. We should be disciplined. We should be 100% on point. We should always eat healthy. We should exercise every day. These shoulds put such anxiety because the second you don't do it, you now feel like a failure. So I encourage you to stop using the word should when it has to do with actions of yourself and start saying something like, I choose to work out today. I choose to eat healthy. I want to treat myself, and my body. And how can I do that the best? How can I love myself? What can I give myself? Instead of saying, I should, right? So that's one thing. Second thing, I think social media makes this idea of perfectionism that we all need to achieve, right? You only see the highlights of most people's lives, the photoshopping, the look at me, I'm on the beach in the middle of nowhere and this is my life and I'm amazing. You don't realize what the rest of the 99% of their life is because you only catch the highlights. So this world of perfectionism, I think, really came about more so in the past couple years because we're looking at all these people on social media looking like they have the perfect life, whatever that means, and we try to always, gauge our life against that, and then also always try to go towards that too, right? Like, well, I feel like shit, and I'm not perfect then because I'm not taking selfies on the beach 24/7, or I'm not traveling, or I'm not driving that car. I don't, yeah, exactly. So that's my two things. Now, when it comes to personalization of that, hello, I think that's my whole life. I'm type A. I've always strived to be perfect, right? And I think it really stops a lot, right? Because again, my journey, I didn't think I had the perfect body in a female sense, so I went the plastic surgery route only for it to kick me in the ass, and 13 years later, I'm back to myself again, right? So again, that idea of what is a perfect body, what is the perfect female physique? I have to have curves and you have to have this. And I went through such a drastic means to get there, only to understand or only to find out that it didn't do shit for me except make me really sick. And now I'm back to square one and learning again to like love what I have and work on the stuff I maybe don't like the best, but do it all through exercise, diet, mindset, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think everybody can relate to that. What's a good story for you in that one? When perfect stopped you.
Well, think about, I want the perfect body, right? I was on MTV and I was very humble before I got on MTV, and I worked my way up, and it wasn't just a random pick. I mean, I pretty much, I wouldn't say harassed, but I was very persistent. I was very resilient with sending my emails and sending them gifts and standing outside in front of TRL, and I was just really persistent. I was very humble, right? I called it, speaking of, that was on the B-roll. PMF Productions was my production company, and if people asked what PMF meant, it meant Promotional Marketing Federation. Not really. It meant Homofo Productions, because I had no money. I quit my job, so I was very humble. And then when I finally got the opportunity and MTV asked me to be on, their show, I thought like Hollywood. It was going to be like Hollywood Monetti. And I felt like I was going to, I'm exaggerating, but I really thought I was going to get more opportunities to like step up and be like this VJ or this DJ or this host or like this radio personality or this media personality. I thought I was going to get all those opportunities. I didn't. So, and I went through a little dark, state of my life where I was like, I'm no good, I suck, this is all for nothing. Meanwhile, I just accomplished one of the hugest goals of my life that I can remember. I worked my ass off to get there, and I was very proud of what I did and whatever. So it kind of put me back in perspective, and then you were with me, right? We just started dating at the time, and I was like depressed, and I was like, what do I do with my life? I was, I went back to Lowe's, and I was driving a forklift, and I was driving a truck, and I was like, what am I doing? Not that there's anything bad with
Thank
that.
God you were driving that forklift.
I know, because I wouldn't have met you. But it brought me back down to the reality check of like, dude, just because you did this doesn't mean you can do that. Take a step back, and it goes. I think we talk about the same things all the time. I said this the other day. Like, you're not as, maybe I did it in a social media post, Instagram post. You're not as good as you think you are, and you're not as bad as you think you are, and you just are, right? Mm-hmm. So put the back down. Stop beating yourself up. The moral of the story is treat yourself as if you were to treat your best friend. I heard that somewhere. I don't know where I heard it, but I love it, because it's like, would you tell your friend that they're an asshole because they, took too long to do something, or they made a mistake, or, they did something that wasn't hurtful to anybody other than themselves? Would you beat them up, or would you say, it's all right, man, just move on. It's okay. Nobody got hurt. I mean, it's not, as complicated as you may make it. A lot of that's in here. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what we talk about all the time. That's the message today. Don't beat yourself up. Put the bat down. If you make a mistake, if you don't do as good as you think you could have, do better next time. We're all learning. We're all trying to figure this shit out together. So you're not better than me. I'm not better than you. She, not better than anybody. Be your best friend and treat yourself with a little bit of kindness. It goes a long way. And that's not saying you should just be easy on yourself. I think you should have goals. And the pendulum, if the pendulum's way over here, you're beating yourself up for not being perfect. Somewhere in the middle, you want to stop before that pendulum comes all the way over here, and the ego gets involved again, and then tells you that you should be doing this, or you should be doing this, or you deserve this. So somewhere in the middle is like where you want to sit, right? That's kind of like, I guess, the moral of the story. Anything else you want to add today, Karen?
I can keep going, but...
Yeah? We want to make these short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Good, that was actually 9 minutes.
Wow.
Boom. Guys, we're going to do this. What time are we doing this, Karen?
We seem to go anywhere from 11:45 to 12:15 in the afternoon.
Right.
It's just been working into the schedule that way.
We're trying to figure it out. We're trying. Now, if I were to...
not perfect!
If I were to say, like, fuck, man, we're supposed to be doing it at 11:30 every day, but, like, a client comes in, or we get a phone call, and again, part of it is blocking that time off. I do, on a side note. Part of that time is blocking it off. We're going to figure it out. But it's been pretty consistent. And we're going to get even better with it, guys, because we appreciate your feedback. Thank you guys very much for commenting and sharing and doing all the fun stuff that you have been doing. And that's a wrap. Believe in yourself. Trust the process.